Space is supposed to follow rules. Gravity pulls matter together, stars burn through nuclear fusion, galaxies spin in predictable patterns, and the laws of physics govern everything from the smallest particle to the largest supercluster. Scientists have spent centuries building elegant models to explain how the cosmos works, and for the most part, those models hold up beautifully. But then there are the things that simply should not exist. Objects and phenomena so bizarre, so fundamentally strange, that they challenge everything we think we know about the universe. These are not minor anomalies or measurement errors. These are real, confirmed, deeply unsettling discoveries that force physicists and astronomers to sit back and ask whether our understanding of reality is missing something enormous. From impossible stars to structures so large they defy the very framework of cosmology, the universe has a habit of breaking its own rules in the most spectacular ways imaginable. One of the most jarring discoveries in modern astronomy involves a single star known as Methuselah, officially cataloged as HD 140283. Based on careful measurements of its chemical composition and luminosity, astronomers calculated this star to be approximately 14.5 billion years old. The problem is staggering in its simplicity. The universe itself is only estimated to be 13.8 billion years old. A star cannot be older than the universe it exists inside. This is not a small discrepancy. This is a star that appears to predate the very Big Bang that supposedly created everything. Scientists have worked hard to reconcile this contradiction, adjusting calculations for distance, stellar evolution models, and measurement uncertainties. The current best estimate places Methuselah's age within a margin of error that technically allows it to be younger than the universe, but only barely. The star remains a profound challenge to our models of stellar aging and cosmic chronology. It sits there in the constellation Libra, quietly burning and daring astronomers to explain it. Stars are supposed to be hot. That is perhaps the most basic thing anyone knows about them. Our own sun burns at roughly 5,500 degrees Celsius on its surface. Even the coolest red dwarf stars maintain surface temperatures of around 2,000 degrees Celsius. So when astronomers discovered a class of objects called white dwarf brown dwarfs, the scientific community had to do a double take. These objects, technically classified as failed stars because they never accumulated enough mass to sustain nuclear fusion, have surface temperatures that can drop below 100 degrees Celsius. Some of the coldest known examples have temperatures comparable to a warm summer day on Earth, hovering around 27 degrees Celsius. One candidate, known as WISE J08510-0714, may have a surface temperature close to freezing point. These are stellar objects you could theoretically approach without being incinerated. They are dark, nearly invisible to optical telescopes, detectable only in infrared light, and they blur the line between star and planet in ways that make classification deeply uncomfortable for astronomers. Somewhere in the direction of the constellation Centaurus, something is pulling our entire galaxy, along with thousands of other galaxies, toward a single point in space. This gravitational anomaly is called the Great Attractor, and it represents one of the most mysterious forces in the observable universe. Our Milky Way, the Andromeda Galaxy, and the entire local group are all being drawn toward this region at speeds of roughly 600 kilometers per second. The deeply unsettling part is that we cannot see what is pulling us. The Great Attractor lies almost perfectly behind the plane of our own galaxy, hidden behind a dense curtain of dust, gas, and stars that blocks our view in visible light. Observations in X-ray and radio wavelengths have revealed a massive concentration of galaxies in that region, a supercluster called the Norma cluster, but many scientists believe this alone is not massive enough to account for the gravitational pull being observed. Something else, something larger and possibly stranger, may be lurking behind the cosmic veil, drawing the local universe toward it with irresistible force. The universe is not uniformly filled with matter. It has a web-like structure, with galaxies clustered along filaments and enormous empty regions called voids between them. But in 2004, astronomers discovered something that went far beyond any expected void. Located in the direction of the constellation Eridanus, the Eridanus supervoid, also known as the cold spot, is a region of space approximately 1 billion light-years across that contains almost nothing. No galaxies, no significant gas clouds, no detectable matter of any meaningful density. It is the largest known void in the observable universe, and its sheer scale breaks the predictions of standard cosmological models. The universe should not have had enough time since the Big Bang to create an empty region this large through normal processes of cosmic evolution. Some scientists have proposed radical explanations, including the possibility that the cold spot is the imprint of a collision between our universe and a parallel universe in the distant past. That hypothesis remains deeply speculative, but the void itself is undeniably real and undeniably strange. 55 Cancri e is a planet orbiting a star approximately 40 light-years from Earth, and according to research published by Yale University scientists, a significant portion of its interior may be composed of diamond. The planet is roughly twice the size of Earth and has a mass about 8 times greater, placing it in the category of super-Earths. Its surface temperature reaches approximately 2,000 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt most materials, but the extreme pressure within its carbon-rich interior creates conditions where carbon atoms are forced into the crystalline structure we know as diamond. Estimates suggest that up to 1/3 of the planet's mass could be in this form, representing a diamond layer potentially thousands of kilometers deep. The sheer quantity of diamond on this single world would dwarf every diamond ever mined on Earth by a factor that is almost impossible to comprehend. The existence of 55 Cancri e forces geologists and planetary scientists to completely rethink their assumptions about what planetary interiors can look like and what materials can dominate the structure of a world. The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall is a structure so incomprehensibly large that its very existence contradicts one of the foundational assumptions of modern cosmology. Discovered in 2013 through the mapping of gamma-ray bursts, this cosmic structure stretches approximately 10 billion light-years across. To put that in perspective, the observable universe is only about 93 billion light-years in diameter. This single structure spans roughly 1/10 of the entire observable universe. The problem is that cosmology operates under what is called the cosmological principle, which states that on large enough scales the universe should look roughly the same in all directions, and matter should be distributed relatively uniformly. The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall violates this principle so dramatically that some scientists have questioned whether it can truly be considered a single coherent structure. Others have accepted it and begun asking what it means for our models of how the universe evolved after the Big Bang. Either way, it should not be there, and yet there it unmistakably is. In 1977, astronomer Jerry Eman was reviewing data from the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University when he noticed something extraordinary. A radio signal lasting exactly 72 seconds had been detected, matching the expected profile of a transmission from an intelligent extraterrestrial source so precisely that Aikman circled it on the printout and wrote a single word in the margin. Wow. The signal, now known as the WOW signal, came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius and exhibited characteristics consistent with a narrowband transmission originating from deep space. It has never been detected again despite decades of follow-up observations. Natural explanations have been proposed, including a comet hypothesis suggested in 2017, but none have been universally accepted by the scientific community. The WOW signal remains the strongest candidate for a detected extraterrestrial radio transmission in the history of astronomy. Its origin is unknown, its nature is unresolved, and its silence since that single night in August of 1977 is perhaps the most haunting aspect of all. What unites all of these discoveries is not just their strangeness, but what they reveal about the limits of human knowledge. Every anomaly, every impossible object, every structure that defies our models is a reminder that the universe is under no obligation to conform to our expectations. The rules we have written are approximations, best guesses built from limited observations of a cosmos that stretches far beyond what we can see or measure. Methuselah's age, the great attractor's invisible pull, the impossible emptiness of the cold spot, the diamond world of 55 Cancri, the signal that came once and never returned. These are not failures of science, they are invitations. Each one represents a door that has not yet been opened, a question that has not yet been answered, and a universe that is still very much in the business of surprising the small, curious creatures who dare to look up and ask what is out there.